Hello, my name is Gary Dolgens. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing of Blanchard Systems. We're a systems integration and software company, and I'm here today with Barrett Lepagian of A&I Hollywood, a Taopix customer in California. We're going to spend a few minutes with Barrett talking about his experience within the photo book business and working with Taopix photo book software. Just a little bit about Blanchard Systems. When we get started here, we're a as I mentioned, systems integration and software development company. We were founded in 1992 in New Orleans, Louisiana. We're the North American distributors for a number of software companies, Dalium Software and Taopix, and we're also the developer of a very successful ad portal for the magazine industry called Send My Ad. A little bit about Taopix. Taopix is a privately held company from the United Kingdom. Currently has about 30 people in staff. It's a software development company only, and they sell through a network of distributors around the world. Today, the company has more than 200 installations of Taopix photo book software. And what Taopix provides is an end-to-end solution, which is really a solution to enable companies to get into the photo book business. As you'll see here, this is a workflow chart, and that Taopix actually provides what's called the Taopix Designer, which is a downloadable client for the Mac and PC to design photo books, photo merchandise. Taopix Web, which is an e-commerce web portal that for handling ordering and payment, and finally Taopix Production, which is a module for handling the back-end production of photo books. Taopix is actually enables companies to get into the photo merchandise business, whether they want to be a B2C supplier or a B2B2C supplier. And here are some web pages for some of our customers around the world. One of our customers provides the photo book solution for Target in Australia. A company called AlbumWorks, which is the company that provides that solution for Target. A company from England that produces their own B2C kinds of solution, and a company called Photo Book Worldwide, headquartered in Toronto and around the world, who provide photo book solutions to consumers. And here's the web page for A&I photo books. This is Barrett's website. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Barrett Lepagian. And again, thank you for spending some time with us today. Barrett, could you first tell us a little bit about A&I?
Yes, originally A&I was a film processing laboratory. We were a very high-end custom film processing and printing for photographers. So our background is more gallery and museum printing and processing.
Okay, and how many years have you been in business?
My father started the business in '72, so I've been doing this my whole life.
That's what you've been doing since you were a little boy, right?
Yeah, literally. I started printing. You know, originally we were a black and white, custom black and white lab, and so I've been doing this since I was about 14, and I'm 46 now.
I know it's like I grew up in a family-owned business too. So how did you get into the photo book business?
You know, we were doing a lot of actors' headshots back in the day when it was a black and white glossy. We would make very customized photographic handmade darkroom prints, and we started duplicating those with 8x10 copy negatives, and so that's really how we started making duplicate prints. And then originally we were doing them photographically. And then, as soon as we saw the Indigo Press, I think it was in the year 2004, we decided to invest in that technology that made it a lot more efficient to get short-run printing.
Great. So that's really was the technology which enabled you to get into this business. So
that's exactly right.
So speaking of technology or considerations, what would you recommend to people as the key considerations when selecting a photo book software should they want to get into this business?
I think the most critical thing is that the company that you're dealing with has some kind of vested interest, to further enhance the product, make it better, work with you, constantly update versions of it. That's the most important thing, one of the things that we were actually uncomfortable at the very beginning with Taopix was, that they had a click fee. And to be honest with you, that's actually the thing that's been the most beneficial because of that click fee. It keeps them very much a motivated partner and a helper in many ways, and that's really been a wonderful thing to develop the software and just keep pushing it.
So yeah, that allows Taopix to keep on developing and enhancing their product and to meet your requirements, I'm sure. So
that's exactly right.
So tell me a little bit about how you go about marketing and promoting your photo book business. I know you've got some great ideas.
One of the things that really, it was sort of actually an accident the way it happened, but, I found Groupon in 2000, and we're in 11 now. I believe it was in 2008. And we actually did a very successful marketing campaign with Groupon. And because it's an online book, anyone in the country, anywhere, could really do it. If it's a restaurant being marketed, it's obviously only good in that one city. But with our product, with the Taopix software, what we were able to do was offer a book at a highly discounted price. The clients bought. Originally it was a $60 product, and then it was a $50 product. But the client paid $20, and what they got was $60 worth of credit towards a Taopix book. And what I was interested in is just them going, downloading the software, and making a discounted book. And my feeling was once they got their book, they would be loyal clients from there on. And because the experience is so great, and I really believe in the quality of our product, and so that's been a huge thing right there, And then really, the second way is just the old-fashioned word of mouth. There's nothing quite like that, especially in the internet age where people get to talk crap about you if you're not great, So we really hold close attention to detail, and we just make sure that our products are better than the rest.
Yeah, I guess in today's day and age with Twitter and whatnot, you have to be careful about what people are saying about you. So,
absolutely.
You must have been one of the first users of Groupon.
We were definitely the first user as far as photo books, and then we were a huge success. We sold thousands and thousands of books in that year, and it was actually a wonderful way of getting clients all over the United States and Canada.
Great. So what do you find the main advantages of you found with Taopix versus let's say other software packages that are out there?
Well, actually, Taopix was later in our career. We actually had, very, very honestly speaking, some very, very difficult other experiences with their competitors. The very first software that we tried to launch with, that never even got off the ground. We couldn't get a shopping cart. There was basically no support. That lasted about 6 miserable months, and then we demanded our money back. And with the help of HP, we actually got our money back. The second folks were just it was a different business model where they sold you the software and you were sort of on your own. The problem we had with them is any kind of support we called, it always felt like they were doing us a favor, and maybe they would even talk to us or they wouldn't. Very difficult. We probably used that for about a year. A lot of clients would get really upset. It was very user unfriendly, and I couldn't grow my business doing that. And then I met the owners of Taopix at a D-Scoop show, which is one of HP's premier shows for Indigo users. And met the owner of the company, James Woods, saw the software, loved it. We went out and talked about it, and we were actually the first installation in the United States, and it's been a really good thing ever since.
Great. So, what other than the software, what are some other considerations that people should make getting into the photo book business?
It's actually, you have to be very careful. It is not a very simple business to get into. The software is just a very small part of the puzzle. There's a few printers to choose from. We certainly really like the HP Indigo just for the quality and even more than the quality, the support. I'm a huge fan of HP's, but the finishing is a whole other thing. The binding, how are you going to bind this? It's if you don't streamline this business, you're in a lot of trouble because it could be so labor intensive. That can destroy you. And the way the market's gotten, books are cheap right now. Books are ranging anywhere from $20 to $40. So if you don't have it figured out how you can make a super high quality book with like really nice paper and the right color and all for like $30 or $40 and in some kind of volume, I would never tell you that this is an easy business. It's very challenging. It's also a very it's early in its infancy still, so there's a lot of issues that everyone's figuring out. Taopix, as wonderful and amazing as they are, they're still developing the software. It's getting better all the time, and at this point right now, they're about to launch the newest version, and it's great, but there's I can honestly say there's nothing easy about this industry. But once you do make it, it's highly rewarding.
I've heard it said it's all about making the book, right?
Oh, for sure. At the end of the day, it's all about the quality of the book. But if you don't have a software that can help your client make the book, most people don't want to go out and pay a designer anywhere from $500 to thousands of dollars designing a book. A lot of people want to sit there and make their own book. They're very personalized books. They're anything from family events, weddings, birthdays, vacations. And we see predominantly women making these books. That's another interesting marketing thing. Guys don't seem to do it. We seem to find that 70% plus our clients are women that are taking the time and making these books for their families or their children or their friends or however it works out.
Very, very interesting. So, in closing, what would be the best advice you could give to somebody who's new to the photo book business?
For sure, it would be research it. Really understand all the different parts of it. Understand the press you're buying. Understand what you get with that press. Understand once you buy that press, all that press does is spit out sheets. How do you get the files to the press in an efficient manner? Obviously Taopix is a huge part of that puzzle. Once it comes out the other end, what do you do then? What kind of binder? Do you do hardcover? Do you do soft cover? If you do hardcover, then are you going to do dust jackets, or how are you going to cover that? Are you going to do case binding? You really need to understand, the whole process, not just little pieces of the puzzle. Otherwise, it could be a very devastating thing and a very expensive mistake.
Okay. Well, that's good advice. So I'd like to thank you, Barrett, for spending some time with me today and doing this interview. And we wish you continued success, and we also thank you for your support of Taopix.
Thank you, Gary. No problem.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye-bye.